Well, hello, boys and girls. It's been such a long time. And you know why? By the way, I am Pearl of Wisdom, and you're listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. And I'm going to talk about the Leafs and Toronto trade here soon, belated, longer. And the reason why was my channel got shut down by YouTube because I don't know, people complained about my content or said that they had to do some sort of investigation or something like that. So I didn't have a YouTube channel to do my videos on. I know I've been getting your letters, and yes, I'm okay. I didn't go in the hospital like was rumored. I just wasn't able to do videos, but here I am, and it's all good now. So, but keep sending your letters. The massage girls and I love to do that. Massage girl Melissa goes into the mailroom, grabs a sack of letters and brings them and pours them on the table, and we jump and we glee and there's frolic and we love it. So keep on sending your letters, and yes, I'm okay. The massage girls are fine. Everybody is okay. We are now back and we're going to do some videos. So let's look at the Toronto trade that happened. What was it? Last week or last couple days, where Toronto picks up Jake Muzzin for Grunstrom, a first round pick, and Drusen, or whatever his name was, a overager who is not putting up, who's about a point a game. Those kind of players generally don't make the NHL. It's not very likely. It's a very small percentage. As far as the first round draft pick that they gave up, it's going to be a late first. The odds of a player making the NHL from a late first, I think, is something like 20 to 25%. And being successful at and playing lots is about 15 or something like that. So it's really not much to give up for a guy, and this is really what I wanted to talk about. Jake Muzzin, I think, could be the most underrated defenseman in the league. This was a fantastic pickup for what they gave up for. Now, LA could save their ass with their scouting and development and pull a 15-20%. By the way, LA's scouting and development team is very good. They've traded away a lot of their first-round picks. They haven't had many picks the last several years, but they get guys like Forbert. I should go over to Los Angeles just to Iafallo. Oh shoot, why did it go there? Boys and girls. Oh, it's Sean Dursey, who is a defenseman. He's an overager, and honestly, it doesn't look like he's going to. I mean, it shouldn't say it doesn't look. He could make it, but it's a very small percentage that he makes the NHL. Tyler Toffoli. They just keep on bringing guys up, and Paul Ledoux now is probably going to take over for what Muzzin was doing. They have Oscar Fantenberg, and a lot of these guys were late picks. And what LA really does well is that they stick with their guys. They generally don't trade their young players. They really give them the time. Forbert is a very good example. I think he spent like 4 years in the minors. Then they worked with him, and now he's a top 4 defenseman and a pretty darn good one at that. So I'm going to give them some props. Now, I'm also going to defend them a tad too, because you have a general manager like Rob Blake there who is respected by everybody who ever knew him. I have a feeling, this is not really enough to get for a guy like Jake Muzzin. If he would have waited until the deadline, I'm sure he would have picked up a little more than this. Now, I believe, oh shoot, I was going to look at that. I believe Jake Muzzin is from the Toronto area. And instead of me looking for it, yeah, actually, I can. Jake Muzzin, Woodstock, Ontario. There you go. Right? I have a feeling that Blake was throwing Muzzin a bone here. He went, where do you want to go? Where would you like to go? Give me an idea. And he probably said in the Toronto area, Boston, Montreal, something of that nature. But he would really love to play in Toronto. So Blake goes around the league, finds out everything he can get for him as a whole. He increases the value as much as he possibly can. Toronto gives something that is somewhat fair value. Somewhat. It's not really enough, but he's taking care of a veteran who has been there, won cups with them, and treating him like a human being. And I'll tell you why. There's two reasons why you do this. For one thing, you just have a heart. And Blake certainly has that. He has always been known for a person who has a heart. Secondly, you do it because you are eventually going to want to sign free agents. And when you treat players like he looks like he treated Muzzin, and you treat them like human beings, there is a much more likely chance that you are going to be able to pick up those free agents, especially for a team like LA who's going through an obvious rebuild right now and can get college players. And college players generally want to play for American teams. It's, unless they were Canadian and they went to college, but American college players. So if you get guys that slip through the draft or don't sign with their team and become a free agent, much like VC did, and guys like that are very good players. I think Hayes did the same thing. Oh shoot, I hit a button and let me go back here. But if you want to get those guys, they're going to go to they're going to go to teams that look like they take care of their players, and that is the truth. I would suggest, if I had a son, that if it looks like a team uses you as a commodity, maybe that's probably not the team you want to go to, right? Like if you're just used as a commodity, like there's trying to think of teams that do that. St. Louis kind of has a habit of doing stuff like that, and they actually have had difficulty getting some free agents. For instance, they picked up Maroon. Maroon's on a 2-year deal. He's not having a stellar season, but it sounds like they're going to trade him now. What they did to Stastny last year when they were going into the playoffs, and they trade him just before the playoffs. I understand. They're trying to get value for a guy who probably isn't going to be there. But there is value in letting the league know that you take care of players. And I give kudos to LA for that. And I give great kudos for Dubas to identify that and really not give all that much up for a fantastic defenseman. I'm not one that puts up all the fancy stats and stuff like that. There's lots of guys out there that do that, and I really appreciate them. And Muzzin's got incredible fancy stats. I'm not going to bore you with what they are. But he drives possession. He's a good defenseman. I know very intelligent hockey minds who believe he's better than Doughty. Now, I wouldn't go that far, but I'd say he's definitely a number 2. They got a number 2. You got to think, the Edmonton Oilers gave up Hall for what they thought was a number 2 defenseman. Hall. And, they signed him for 4 years, or he's younger than Muzzin, absolutely no doubt about it. Take that into account. But when you give a late first, a Grunstrom, who I didn't even get into that, looks more like a third liner by people that know in the know, for basically a number 2 defenseman that's signed for the next 2 years and wants to be there, probably, so you might be able to re-sign him again. Toronto wins this trade hands down, but I understand and I'm thankful for guys like Blake who do things for guys like Muzzin. You got a good heart, and I hope it works out for you. That's my full 42%, boys and girls. That's all I have to give. Why don't you give this a share and send it to all your friends? I'm going to send you a My NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace and a vat of Jaime's Body Lube, even if you don't subscribe. I'm so happy to have my channel back. I'm just going to give it to you all. I got the massage girls wrapping it up for you. It's coming to your door, helicoptered to you. Have a great day, and lots of love to you.